I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This is a 1973 Kawai KG2C, which is about 5'9", 5'10", so pretty good size, much bigger than a baby grand. Great size for a living room, but not so big that it totally overpowers a living room. We did a full refurbish on the guts, except for the bass strings. I was really unhappy with how the bass strings sounded. I would say usually a piano approximately 50 years old, 1973, the bass strings will have another few decades of life in them. And frankly, the previous bass strings could have worked, but I don't know. I just felt like it was sort of the weak link in the chain. And so those I did decide to just go ahead and replace. So the bass strings are new and the tuning pins. But other than that, it's received a full refurbishing. So cleaning, alignment, lubrication. We reshaped the hammers, repinned everything in an action, pivots on pins, everything's in an arc. And so sometimes the bushings that those pins pivot in, they can wear out. So we've repinned it. So, and then full regulation, of course, which is everything making the action function correctly, like the key dip, the distance you're going to press the key, the blow distance, which is the hammers to the strings, distance, the drop, the spring strength. There's about a dozen or so different specs that make the touch correct and maximize your repetition and dynamic range. Okay, so that's what we did on the guts, and then on the exterior, we ended up not doing anything, and that was a decision. I think in its current condition, it's probably A minus cosmetically, maybe B plus. I mean, if I stand like right here looking at it, it looks like an A or even bordering on A plus. If you're right up next close to it, you can see there's some imperfections. There's a handful of little nicks and gouges and things like that. For example, we've got one right here. We've got one.
On your finger.
Yeah, there it is. We've got one right here. There's a handful of them. And then on the if you see on this music desk, if you look at it just right in the right light, you can see little dots there. I don't know if you can make that out. Yeah, there they are if you look very closely.
Like dust when I zoom in.
Yeah, she just said, the camera woman just said they look like, I don't know if you can hear it.
I can't. It doesn't show up.
Okay, it doesn't show up very well. I don't know if you can hear it with my mic here. She said that it looks like dust when you zoom in, but it's hard to make out. But yeah, when you get the light just right, you can see little pock marks. Not so much. Okay. So anyway, suffice it to say that the cosmetics are very good, but I would not give it an A plus or even an A. Like I said, A minus, B plus. So if you like this piano, however, we would be happy to refinish it. We can do that very reasonably priced. But again, the goal in pianos like this is to keep the price very reasonable. Right now, we have this piano at a third or less what a brand new Kawai of this size would be, and so that was a decision to keep in order to keep it that cheap, to not refinish it and kind of leave it at that A minus, B plus cosmetics. So so again, if you're interested, we can do it. We can do it in like a satin like that and make it virtually perfect. We can get it to an A plus, or if you wanted to keep it polished, then that could be done as well, to fill in all of those nicks and gouges and then polish everything out. That's a possibility. So maybe one thing that I'll mention before I play it is that Kawai is just a very reputable brand. I personally have a fairly long history with Kawai. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has bought almost exclusively Kawai for the last several decades, and I personally serviced for about 10 years about 150 pianos in East Provo that were almost all Kawai, and so I got to know the brand very well that way. Also, about 20 years ago, I worked as a piano technician for a local Kawai dealer, and so I got to know Kawai at that time, and I think very highly of Kawai. And Don Menino also is one of my mentors from afar. He's in California, and of course I've seen him at PTG conventions and read his articles and things. And he's a Kawai guy. He's retired now, but very knowledgeable, high level technician for Kawai. Okay, so I guess let's just listen to it. Those bass strings, that decision paid off. Good power, brilliance, and the piano itself has sustain. That's different. That's a different thing from the new bass strings, but piano really roars. Yeah, very nice piano. And if you're watching this out of state, then it's actually we deliver pianos all over. This summer, I think we're delivering to I don't know how many states. A lot. We're well as far as Alabama and Louisiana and Ohio, California. In fact, I have 6 sons, but two of them work as occasional long distance delivery guys. They're actually right now, as I make this video, they're doing a 3-state tour delivery. So this is an option even if you're not local, and I think even after and by the way, there's no sales tax if the piano ends up out of state. So hopefully that more than compensates for a delivery fee, which for an enormous object like this is actually surprisingly reasonable. So that can be done. But if you are local, come check it out. I think you'll be very pleased with this Kawai. Thanks for watching.